Welcome to CAN TV, and this is the Social Security Show. I'm your host, Daniel Summer, Public Affairs Specialist in the Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana area. But I'm not the only one here. Joining me is my co-host, Josephine Mueller. If you would, please, Josephine.
Absolutely. Thank you, Daniel Summer. I'm excited to be here with everyone today. We have a great show in store for you. I am also a public affairs specialist in the Chicagoland area. I'm a bilingual public affairs specialist, so I do a lot of community outreach in both English and in Spanish. And we are eager to have this great show that we have we're going to be presenting to you. It's going to be in regards to several frequently asked questions that we receive from the public when we do our community outreach, and as well as the questions that are asked when you come into our local field offices.
That's right. We do listen to you. We do want to hear your questions and answer them for you. And guess what? We do want to make sure that other people who have the same questions as you do get the answer. So now, with this brief announcement, just remember, participation in this presentation does not constitute an endorsement by the Social Security Administration or its employees of organizations and information and products not provided by SSA. So we will begin again with a frequently asked question, and that's the way we like to start. But first, being with you through life's journey, Josephine, is there anything you'd like to do first before we get this started?
Yes, absolutely. I would love to play our video. That's a really nice illustration of how Social Security is with everyone, with all of us throughout life's journey. So I'm going to go ahead and bring that video up because I would like to share that with everybody so everybody can see. It's a really nice, heartfelt video. And
it looks like joining us is the Phantom. Apparently, we've got a guest that is kind of thin. So I like when these little nice surprises happen. But welcome to the show.
Here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and play it. And let's put it on full screen here. And here we go.
We are there, day one, with baby names and a gift that lasts a lifetime. We are there as you grow, protecting you and those you love. We are there when you get your first job, helping you to save for the future. We are there when you marry your sweetheart to help secure your new life together. We are there if the unexpected happens, to help you see life from a new perspective. We are there when you start your next chapter to make sure you get off to a great start. And we are there when you lose your soulmate to help make sure you will be all right. We are with you through life's journey. Social Security, securing today and tomorrow. Get to know us and see what you can do online at socialsecurity.gov.
There's no way that I get enough of that commercial, Josephine. So now on to the meat and potatoes of this thing, as we were just talking about Thanksgiving. The frequently asked questions. And I'd like to ask the first one of you, Josephine. And it's a good one. Here goes something that we get to hear from time to time. I usually get my benefit payment on the 3rd of the month, but this month the 3rd falls on a Sunday. My bank is not open on Sunday. Will my payment be late?
This is a great question because we do receive this question quite frequently. And at Social Security, we will not pay you late. If we cannot pay you on the date that you're intended to receive your payment, then we will definitely pay you ahead of time. So it's important to note that you will receive your payment either early or on time. We will not pay you your benefit late. Do you have anything to add to that, Mr. Summers?
Well, you've said it all, but that's important to know. Social Security understands that the income that is provided to you based on your taxpayer dollars and is due to you is to be paid to you on time And we'd rather pay you early than late. And we were going to do that. And we are going to continue to pay people timely or a bit ahead of schedule. Thanks for asking. All right.
Absolutely. So I do want to show, since we're on this topic, Mr. Summer, I would like to show the audience here how to look to see when their payments, when they're going to be receiving their payments. Because a lot of times people just have that question, well, when do I receive payments? So I want to show people how to get there. And I'm going to share my screen real quickly. Since we're on this topic, as you can see, this is our webpage. And you can go ahead and scroll down to where it says publications. So you just go to ssa.gov, go to publications, and there is actually a publication that talks about the payments. So I want to see if I could find it here for you all. Here we go. You just type in, I just typed in payments into the search engine. It says Schedule of Social Security Payments, calendar 2020. So this was a 2020 calendar. Of course, we'll update it for 2021. But are you able to see that calendar on the screen, Mr. Summer?
I sure can. And it makes
Great.
everything so clear. And another thing that you might want to add, because it goes by dates of birth. Would you like to describe that a bit for us?
Yes, absolutely. So I'm glad that you brought that up because, you know, depending on what day you were born within the month or, you know, what time frame, that is when you're going to see your payments. So as you can see right here, it's the very bottom on the left corner of this page. It says benefits paid on, and that has the birth date next to it. And as you can see, individuals that were born between the 1st and the 10th, they get paid every second Wednesday of the month. Individuals that were born between the 11th and the 20th, they're always going to see their payments every third Wednesday of the month. And then individuals that were born between the 21st through the 31st will receive their benefit every fourth Wednesday of the month. And this is a nice little legend right here. You know, you've got the dark blue shaded, as you can see, if you were born in this time frame between the 1st and the 10th of the month, you can see, look for the dark blue shade, and you can see what date you're going to see your payment exactly. And as you can see, the date may change. So in January of 2020, the second Wednesday of the month was the 8th, but in February of 2020, the second Wednesday is the 12th. So it's important to note that it's not always going to be on the same day, but it will always be on the second Wednesday of the month, the third Wednesday of the month, or the fourth Wednesday of the month, depending on what time frame you were born within that month.
And let's not forget, the second Wednesday of the month can never be later than the 14th. The third Wednesday of the month can never be later than the 21st. And of course, the fourth Wednesday of the month can never be later than the 28th. So at least by those dates, you will know at the absolute latest, that's when you'll get your benefit check. But there's a shortcut, Josephine, and that is getting an account. Because anytime someone logs on to their account, if they're receiving a benefit, it tells you right in your face the exact date of your next payment. So no harm, no foul. The instant you click on, it's the first thing. You don't have to request it. It's there for the taking without you asking. Great, great question and wonderful answer. Thank you for that, Josephine. I see the Phantom is still with us.
Yeah.
All right.
We see the studio in the background, the CAN
Great.
TV studio. But now I have a question for you, Mr. Summer, and this is another frequently asked question. So I understand that Social Security keeps track of all the wages I've earned under my Social Security number. I'm working on my resume. Can Social Security give me the information on my job history?
Wow. Well, you know, I've heard that question a number of times. In fact, at a place where I was working, sometimes the employment office, in trying to assist people in creating their resumes, would literally send people to the Social Security office thinking that we would be able to tell them, well, from March 1987, 15th until July 21st, that this person worked here or there. And Social Security doesn't have that specific information. We get our records about your wages, which is what we keep so that we can pay you the proper amount at the end of the year from the Internal Revenue Service. And so a person may have had 10 jobs during that year. We'll have the totals for the amount that they earned and where they earned it from. But as far as building a resume, knowing from when a person worked at one job to the date it ended, Social Security can't track that information. Moreover, a lot of the detailed information costs Social Security to maintain, and there are fees for different things. We at Social Security will help everyone with all that we can free of charge. But actually, specifically building a resume and knowing your job history with with the amount of detail that one would need to make a really good resume is a little out of scope. Just remember, that's not what Social Security does. We track your wages, the money you earn, not necessarily when you're on one job, when it begins and ends. Josephine, is there anything you'd like to add?
That's a great response to this question, because you are so right. We don't, we don't exactly know when you started the job and when you ended the job. And those are things that a resume entails or requires. So it's important to note that here at Social Security, we will try to help you as much as we can, but that is not what we are intended here for. So it's important to, to note that if you are looking on working on your resume, we are not able to assist you in the extent that you're going to need that assistance. We can always provide you an earnings record, which just shows the year that you worked and how much you earned in that year. That's called an earnings record, and that you can actually pull up on your My Social Security account. So that account that you can create online, and we'll talk a little bit about it later on in the show, but it's a My Social Security account. You can look at your earnings and you can see what you earned each year. You can print that out from the comfort of your own home, and that is a free service. But we're going to move on to the next frequently asked question here.
This one's for you, Josie. All right, now this is a disability question. Ooh. All right, I am currently unemployed. I had a job, but it closed down. I've always had a back problem, but my employer worked with me. I'm not sure that any other employer will be as accommodating, and I'm scared that I won't be able to meet the expectations of a new employer. I'm 62 now, but I don't know if I should file for disability or retirement. What should I do?
This is a great question, because, if somebody is 62, they are eligible for early retirement benefits. And if you are also disabled, you can apply for disability benefits at the same time if you choose to also draw Social Security retirement benefits. You can apply for both at the same time. And say that, the disability application gets approved, and down the line, you're approved. Maybe it does take it can take anywhere from 3 to 6 months for a decision to be made. But if you're already 62 and you chose to take retirement benefits, those will start right away, essentially. So you'll receive those. And then if you are approved months down the line, then your benefit will increase to what the disability benefit amount is. Because keep in mind, when somebody receives disability benefits, they receive the amount of money they would have received if they would have taken their benefit at full retirement age. So this individual is 62, they're early retirement age, so they would be reduced due to age if they were to take the retirement benefit early. But if they apply for disability benefits at the same time and their disability benefit is approved down the line, then that benefit would be increased to the full Social Security benefit amount that they would have received at full retirement age, either 66 or 66 in a few months, whatever that full retirement age for that individual is. And then keep in mind, if the disability application is denied, then that same individual would be able to continue to receive their early Social Security retirement benefits. So that wouldn't hurt them in any way. They'd be able to continue to receive their Social Security retirement benefits early if they chose to do so. So this person has some options. Do you want to add to that, Mr. Summer?
Oh, well, you're exactly right. This isn't an I have to file for this either or. No. Social Security allows you the flexibility to think about it. And I've had many, many people, Josephine, who've come in and they're saying, I'd like to apply for retirement because I can't take it anymore. Saying this guy's bad back. And you know what? I always encourage them. Well, if you believe that the reason why you're unable to work at this point is that you have a disabling condition, we absolutely put that option out there because it might be advantageous to take the disability if you're entitled to the full amount. We don't want to shortchange you. We here at Social Security care about what happens to the public, and we want to ensure that all of your rights are protected. And that includes the right to apply for disability, and if you're entitled to it, to receive that promptly. Great question.
So now I have one for you, Mr. Summer, and it's also in regards to disability. So here it is. I am confused. I read that your definition of disability is being unable to work substantially. I have a job, I'm working right now, but I have a medical condition that is so bad that I might be leaving my job soon or losing my job due to the fact that I keep missing work because of my disability. If I file for disability while I'm working, I will get denied automatically, right?
Oh, great question. But not necessarily. So wrong. You won't get denied automatically just because you tell us that you are working. And in fact, many people work and receive disability at the same time. The Social Security Administration has provisions because we consider an individual's work. And if we look at the first part of this question, they read, which was a good thing to do to go on our website, that our definition of disability is being unable to work substantially. What does substantially mean? Well, what one person might consider to be substantial might be different than another, but Social Security defines substantially. In this case, in 2020, as earning $1,260 or more. So let's think about this. What if I am working, but not $1,260? It's not substantial. I've had to cut back because of my disability, and guess what? I'm not working substantially, even though I am working. So you won't be denied automatically. Furthermore, there's a lot of other things that we have to consider, Josie. The fact is, we don't just look at, are you making this much or that much? There is a lot of consideration. There's a lot of nuance in this because sometimes people are working and we don't even count all that they earn for a variety of reasons. Maybe they have expenses due to their disability. We're going to disregard that. Maybe they're being looked upon charitably by their employer and they're only doing, say, 70, 80% of the work of their job. Well, guess what? We don't count 100% of the wages. We count 70 or 80% of the job. And there are many other things that we consider before we just deny you. So you're not denied automatically. And in fact, even if you're above that amount that I quoted for you as earnings, you still have a shot at disability. So please avail yourself of the Social Security system. Contact us. They are experts. We are experts in making those determinations. And we always want to give you what amount that you're entitled to, because after all, it's your Social Security system. You've paid into it, and we respect that. Josephine, is there anything that you'd like to add?
Well, just that, these substantial earnings limits, they change from year to year. So we're approaching 2021. It's right around the corner. And, the limit for this year in 2020, as you stated, is $1,260 per month. That's the substantial earnings limit. But in 2021, it's going to increase to $1,310 per month. And that figure is different for individuals who are blind and disabled. So individuals who are blind and disabled, those figures are actually a little bit higher. So in 2020, for an individual who is blind, the substantial earnings amount is $2,110. And for 2021, it'll increase to $2,190. So for all of these amounts, you can visit our website at socialsecurity.gov. But that was a great question and a great answer.
Wow. Very good stuff here. I love this. And You can always contact the Social Security Administration if you have any questions about any of the information, either that we're giving you here, or if you've just come up with a completely different question. We'd love to hear from you. So here's another question. Would you like for me to read it to you, Josephine? I'd like.
Sure.
Here's a retirement question, and I know you love retirement. This is from an individual who's ready to retire. I want to retire, but the politicians changed the full retirement age from 65. When and why did they change the retirement age? How can they just do that just before I get ready to retire? Doesn't that disadvantage me by making me wait longer before I can file? I don't think all that's accurate.
No, I don't think it is either. So for individuals to be full retirement, or for full retirement age to be 65, that's been a long time. That was something several years ago. The full retirement age was 65. It has increased since many years ago. And you can find out what your full retirement age is if you go onto our website. And I want to show you how to look for that, because I think that's important, because for all of us, it's different. Depending on what year you were born, your full retirement age is different. Some of us, it's 66. Some of us, it's 66 in a few months. Some of us, it's, 67. It just all depends on your year of birth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you to our webpage here again. This is our main screen. If you click on retirement, this box right here, it's a very user-friendly page. So if you click on retirement, you can go ahead and you'll see tons of information about retirement, specifically about retirement. So I'm going to go ahead and click on how retirement benefits work.
And Josie, I'm so glad that you're going online to our website, because often you get questions like this, and guess what? The information doesn't come from Social Security. Why? The full retirement age hasn't changed since 1983. It's been almost 40 years since that 65 figure was a fact. So I want people to understand that just because something's printed or it's online, if it's about Social Security, you want to go to ssa.gov, because I often get questions that people think they've got a fact, and they say, well, why is that? They've changed this on me just before I'm ready to retire. They moved the goalpost, and that hasn't happened. Unless you have been just about getting ready to retire since 1983, you've had a 40-year span. So most people aren't going to wait that long when they're of retirement age, because that would make the person less 62 plus 40 years. That make them, over 100 years old.
I'm so glad that you pointed that out, that the information that people need to look at, that we need to look at, is the information on our website at socialsecurity.gov. That's important to note, .gov, because there are other sites that claim to have information in regards to Social Security, and it's not from the source. It's not accurate because it's the .com site or it's a .something else site. So please make sure that when you look information up in regards to Social Security, you're going to our website at socialsecurity.gov. And, I'm in this section where I clicked into retirement benefits off of our main page. And then here we have, you scroll down, deciding when to start to receive retirement benefits. If you scroll down where it says right here, full retirement age, you can click on this link. It says full retirement age chart. It's right within here. And as you can see, this is a nice chart that lets you know when your full retirement age is. Because remember, we said that full retirement age is different for everybody depending on what year they were born. Well, here you have it. Individuals born between 1943 and 1954, their full retirement age is at age 66. Individuals born in 1955, 66 and 2 months is when their full retirement age is, and so on. And if you jump all the way down here, for individuals born 1960 and later, their full retirement age is at age 67. Now, what does this all mean? Well, at full retirement age, that means that you're eligible for 100% of your Social Security retirement benefits. So that's what full retirement age means. And depending on what year you were born, your full retirement age may be different. And early retirement age is age 62 for all of us. So that's early retirement age. But right here, there's an abundance of knowledge. Please feel free to visit our website at socialsecurity.gov. And if you want information specifically about retirement benefits, you just click on this box right here, retirement, and it takes you to everything that I was showing you.
And let's not forget, Josie, people could always retire at 62. That goal has not moved. We haven't said you can't retire at 62. You have to wait until some other day. So just stick to the original. There's a lot of work and training and expertise that goes into becoming a Social Security employee. Don't let it go to waste. When you have a Social Security question, go to the Social Security website or contact the Social Security Administration. Get it from the source.
Absolutely. And I like that you mentioned contact the Social Security employee, contact us either online or contact us. And many of you out there might be asking, well, how do I get in touch with you right now? We're in December of 2020 and, you know, Social Security field offices aren't taking walk-in traffic the way they were before. How do I contact you guys? Well, we are still open. You can still contact us. You would contact us by phone if you have questions for us, or you would do business with us online. And so I want to show you that real quick too. So, you know, you all know how to get in touch with us. You know, we want to, you know, let you know that you can still contact us. We're still here for you. So as you can see, this is our main page. If you click on this mustard colored ribbon, it says coronavirus COVID-19 updates. You can click here. This gives you all the updates in regards to new things that are going on. So once the status of our offices changes, this will be in this section. You'll be able to see the update here. And you can subscribe. As you can see up here, there's a little link, subscribe. You can subscribe with your cell phone number or your email. And then as soon as there's a change or an update, you'll get that right away. But if you scroll down here, you're going to see where it's got a link. And you can actually type this into the search engine, but I want you to see how to get to it this way. I need help with my benefits. You know, generally we will schedule an in-person appointment in dire need situations. And then it tells you what those dire need situations are, because we are still seeing some individuals in the office, but it's by person. It's an in-person appointment, and you have to make an appointment, and it has to be dire need. And you can go ahead and call us though for any other needs that you have, and you can click on Office Locator. So as you can see, I clicked on Office Locator. You can type in your zip code here, whatever your zip code may be. I'm going to type in 60661. It's going to go ahead and see, this is the Chicago zip code. It's going to go ahead and give you the direct line to your local field office. So if you reside in this zip code, this is your local field office. And it's going to give you the address, it's going to give you the office number, so you can contact us directly and speak to a representative from your local office. We're still working, we're working remotely, we're taking your questions, we're taking your applications, so you can call us. If you need to mail in information to us, you can also mail that information into us, because we're still accepting mail. And this right here is the address to this particular office that's connected to the zip code. And this can be used anywhere, nationwide. I'm actually based in Chicago in the Illinois area, but Mr. Summer is in Indiana. Can you give me an Indiana zip code?
I sure can, Josie. How about this? 46385.
Okay, here we go. 46385. Locate. Now here we go. So we went to a different state here, and as you can see, this is the Valparaiso, Indiana office. This is their address. This is their office phone number, their direct line, and this is their fax number. So right here in this one area, you can find out how to exactly get in contact with your local representative. And this may be a lot quicker than calling our National Social Security hotline. You can still call our National Social Security hotline, which is 1-800-772-1213. However, you may get through a little bit sooner if you go to your local field office phone number and you reach out to us in that way.
We at Social Security always want to give you the fastest, most efficient service. And when you contact someone through the field office locator and you need a Social Security service, keep in mind that these are the real people in the real local office close to you that are going to be addressing your issue. And if you have to mail a document to them or discuss something, or you need your case done, finished, processed, or taken, contacting that local office is the best way, because they're the actual individuals that are going to be working for you and they're going to be taking care of you. So it's fine that you call our 800 number for information, but remember, they can be anywhere in the country. I'm in Indiana right now, but if I call the 800 number, perhaps somebody in California or New York or Detroit or LA will answer my question. But if I call my local number, guess what? I'm going to be on the phone with the real people who are going to really work on my real case situation and address it for me. And that just seems to be a little more comfortable thing for me. I know that I'm sending this to the same office that I just talked to, and now they're going to take care of it because that information that they gave me is right on the line. Thank you, Josephine, for the great answer to that question.
So now we're going to transition into spousal benefits. So I'm going to go ahead and ask you this question, Mr. Summer. Now, my spouse is a policeman. He told me that we won't get Social Security retirement because he didn't pay into it. I'm a homemaker. I know that I did not work enough to get Social Security on my own. Being a police officer is a dangerous job. Will I be able to get widow's benefit if something happens to my spouse?
Pretty profound question, and one that I hear from time to time. But it takes a lot of understanding about how Social Security works to answer this question, because paying into Social Security, as you well know, Josephine, is a result of FICA taxes. And in most cases, firefighters, teachers, policemen, and people in some other professions don't pay FICA taxes into Social Security. They normally pay into a private pension. However, you do meet a lot of policemen and firefighters and teachers who do other jobs or who worked before or after they became firefighters, teachers, and policemen, or who have part-time work for which they do pay into Social Security. So while it is possible that a widow's benefit can happen, let's not forget that pension that they're paying into often has a provision for widows. So you're going to want to look there for one thing. And also, do not be remiss and consider Social Security, because if there are enough credits there under Social Security, we absolutely, positively want to pay you any benefits you're due. So we don't want anything to happen to your spouse, but if the unforeseen and unfortunate does happen, still make that call to the Social Security Administration, because yes, it is possible that you would get a widow's benefit, not only from one source, but perhaps another. And we want to ensure that all of your rights are enforced. And if you're due a benefit, that you get that payment. Josephine, would you like to add anything?
Yes, I would like to show everyone where to get information in regards to the windfall elimination and government pension offset, because this question kind of leans towards that information here. So I'm going to go ahead and take us back to our webpage, because you know how much we love our webpage, Mr. Summer. So I'm going to go ahead. Yes,
even the Phantom likes it. Even the Phantom is looking.
Yes, it's a great webpage. It's a great resource, and abundance of knowledge is all in one area here. So SSA.gov, this is where I'm at. I'm going to go ahead and go to where we've got publications here. So not only can you find publications in regards to the windfall elimination provision that does affect individuals who are police officers or individuals who work for the city, state, county, or our teachers. It's called the windfall elimination provision. So if I type that in there, you can see it comes up right here, the publication. You can either click on PDF or you can click on audio, and you can actually listen to this publication. So if you're on the move and you want to just go ahead and pop in your earbuds and listen to our publication, you can do that. It's convenient. Or you can go ahead, if you want to read it, you can click on PDF, and then it'll go ahead and open up the actual PDF for you, and you'll be able to see what exactly the windfall elimination provision is and how it affects you if you are an individual who worked for the city, state, or county. Now,
So
just
important.
as we have, so important. So that's the windfall. But when it comes to spouses benefits, there's what's called the GPO, which is the government pension offset. So we've got information in regards to that too. And that should come up, let's see. Here we go. So as you can see, you've got it here. You can click on PDF and then it opens up and it gives you information in regards to this, the government pension offset. So it talks about spouses benefits if you're a spouse who is receiving a pension from either the city, state, or county, how that affects you. But in addition to these, you've got publications for spouses. So we were on the topic of spouses. So spousal benefits right here, SPOU. Okay, here we go. How to apply online for retirement spouses. It tells you how to apply for those benefits. And then we're going to go back here. That's a publication in regards to that. So yeah, there's tons of publications, tons of great reading material if you have questions. And then if you go to our main site here, if you click on retirement, through there, you should be able to find more information in regards to spousal information here. What is the eligibility for Social Security spousal benefits and my own retirement? So you can click on here. It's going to take you to some information in regards to spouses benefits. So just lots of great information. If you have a chance, please visit our website at socialsecurity.gov to browse through it and get an idea of the different types of benefits that Social Security has to offer. So we're going to get back here to our presentation, and I'm going to click on the PowerPoint for you all to see these questions.
Great.
And I know I asked Mr. Summer this question here, but he's going to go ahead and ask me the next question, and we're changing topics a little bit to survivors benefits.
And this is a really good question. Here goes from a member of the public. And remember, Josephine, when you answer this, the ghost of Can TV Chicago is watching, so we'll have to make this good, right? My wife passed away. We both worked and needed the two incomes. I am still working. My kids are 5, 7, and 17. We get Social Security, and it helps a lot. Based on her work, the kids each get $750. Our 17-year-old turns 18 and graduates next June. I know that the check ends at 18. I am worried about that I will not be able to meet our expenses once her payments end. Is there a way to keep getting the payment? What if she goes straight to college? Do the payments keep going?
So that is a great question, because this is talking about the surviving children's benefits here. So in this situation, it looks like, the child's turning 18 and graduates next June at the same time. So what will happen is if the child graduates high school and turns 18 at that same time, the benefit will stop. However, this benefit was split between 3 children, it looks like. So the one that's 5, the one that's 7, and the one that's 17 that's going to be turning 18. So what will happen is once that child turns 18, the other 2 children's benefits will increase because it'll be split 2 ways instead of 3 ways. So essentially the surviving spouse will still see the same type of benefit come in, just in a different way. Once a child turns 18 or graduates high school, there are no longer Social Security benefits that are paid to someone who is in college, a student that is in college. The way a benefit is paid past the age of 18 is if that child is found disabled and is found disabled prior to age 22, then the benefit may continue. But the disability would have had to have occurred prior to the child turning age 22. Do you have anything to add to that, Mr. Summer?
The only thing I'll add will be, and by the way, great answer to that question. The only thing that I'll add is that in some instances, and we know that your 17-year-old is very smart and they're graduating early, but sometimes a person takes 19 or a few months longer to graduate. And in those cases, the benefit does go beyond the age of 18, as long as we get the information from the school that indicates that they are still in high school. Social Security wants to ensure that we pay these benefits as long as possible. And survivors' benefits are generous. And do you know why? That's intentional, because we understand that a person that you lose, is not only do you lose your partner or parent, their income often is lost. So therefore, we are very careful to ensure that any benefits that are due on that record are paid to you. And just as Josie said, the benefits increase for the remaining children. So we're not trying to cut you out of any payment. Anything that was earned by your wife, that spouse, is applied to all the children until they are of age. So great question, great answer. Josie, the ghost of Can TV Chicago, is pleased as well.
Yes, definitely. And since we love our webpage, I want to take us back there because we talked about a student that may have graduated early or and is still not 18. But what about the student that is 18, still in high school, because of their birthday, they're still in high school, they're 18, but they're not that close to graduation yet, but they're still in high school and they're 18. They can continue to receive their benefits as long as they can prove that they're still in high school before the age of 19. They can receive the benefits up until 19. But I want to show everybody where to get that form, because if that's your situation, then what you would need to do is you'd need to fill out a form called an SSA 1372. So if you're an 18-year-old student who's receiving survivor's benefits and you're not close to graduation yet, say you're not going to graduate until you're 19, you're going to need to have this form filled out and you're going to need to send it to your local Social Security field office. Now, many of you may be asking, well, how do I get that form? It's not so easy to get into an office nowadays to get that form. So my answer to you is our website. You can pull that form up right off of our website. We have a nice section down here, a nice feature called Forms. As you can see, you click on there. And if you type in the number 1372, because this is a particular form that you would need to fill out. It's an advance notice of termination of child's benefits. And this form, once you pull it up, you're able to enter in your information, and then you're also going to need your school to document information as far as the school that you go to, their address, when the school year began, when it ends, if you've graduated, how much longer you're going to be in high school. And then you're going to need to sign it, and then your school is going to need to sign it, and they're going to need to certify it, and it has to be certified by a school official. Once you get all of this filled out, you can go ahead and mail it into your local field office by using our field office locator. You can find the address, or you can fax it to your local field office by using that field office locator. You can find the fax number. So those are two ways that you can get this information to us. And this you would need if you are 18 and you are still in high school, and if you can get this filled out and prove that, then your Social Security benefits can continue. Do you have anything to add to that, Mr. Summer?
For sure, Josie. There's a whole universe of forms, and all the ones that we use at Social Security on ssa.gov. Go in those forms, and hey, you don't have to know 1372 or whatever the numbers are. The kind of form you're looking for instance, if it's a disability related form, if I just typed in part of the name or disability, a whole list of them would come up from which I could pick, and I can find that form in a few minutes. So it's a great tool to become familiar with. And just remember, we at Social Security want to make your online experience easy. We want to be available to you as much as we can. So when the phones are not up and you're up later than we are, you can go online. If you have a question, there's a frequently asked questions section. If you need a form and you lost it somewhere, guess what? You can go right on forms and get that form and get your Social Security issue resolved as quickly as possible. Great, great answer to that, Josephine.
Yeah, and I like that you pointed out that we have a frequently asked questions section on our website. And I'm going to go ahead and click on it here so that everybody can see it. This is the FAQ section on our page. And you can go ahead and click on that. And it's going to bring up the most frequently asked questions. And it's going to give you a list of them. And you can go ahead and click on it and see any of the newest information as far as the frequently asked questions. But I'm so glad that you brought this up, Mr. Summer, because there is new information here in regards to the COLA, the cost of living adjustment. And this is super new. This is something that, you know, we recently became aware of. Was it a month or two ago that this has passed? And so right here, this is one of the frequently asked questions. How much will the COLA amount be for 2021 and when will I receive it? So I'm going to go ahead and click on that.
This is a news flash, an exclusive here, live with Josephine Mueller. Let's find out about the money.
Here we go. So how much is the increase? So how much are benefits going to increase? Social Security benefits and supplemental security income, SSI payments for approximately 70 million Americans will increase 1.3% in 2021. This is the annual cost of living adjustment COLA. By law, federal benefits increase when the cost of living rises as measured by the Department of Labor's Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers. So that's the increase that we're going to be receiving here, 1.3% in 2021. So individuals who are receiving Social Security benefits and SSI are going to see an increase. When the increase takes effect, when does the increase take effect? This increase will begin with benefits that Social Security beneficiaries receive in January of 2021. So next month, increased SSI payments will begin on December 31st, 2021. You're going to see that effective as of January 2021, though. That's when you're going to see your increase. When will your notice come to you in the mail? Well, you're going to receive notices throughout the entire month of December. So this entire month, you'll be seeing notices coming out. And it's possible that your friend or family member will receive their notice in the mail before you. Please wait until January before contacting us about your mailed notice. However, you may not need to wait for your mailed notice to learn about your benefit amount for 2021. You can visit us online. If you create your My Social Security account, you're going to be able to see your notice there right away and print it out in the comfort of your own home.
That's excellent, Josie. And I'd like to add something before you leave this page. Now, the notices will be mailed in December, but how do you get the scoop on Social Security? Let's take a look at that part you see at the top that says it's last modified October 13th. So guess what? Even though the notices are going to come sometime during December, if you were at ssa.gov long before the notices came, you would be aware and you would know, in October, about something that everybody else will not know until December. So if you really want to be on top of Social Security business, this is the place to be. ssa.gov is where it's at. That's where you want to listen, where you want to watch, and our website is updated. Now, there's another thing, Josie, that I'd really like to cover because you went past it just before you got to this page. Could you go to the previous page with the frequently asked questions? Because there's something super important there that I just have to look at. Now, the third question is beginning to be a huge problem, particularly during this pandemic. And we've seen such an increase in fraudulent scam calls. So let's look at this question. What should I do if I get a call claiming there's a problem with my Social Security number or account? Well, I'm going to tell you that even though we're not in our offices right now and we are answering your questions, we're not the only ones in our offices. The scammers and fraudsters are working overtime. They're using Social Security's good name to try to fool you into giving your information to them so they can steal your identity, take your credit, buy things in your name, ruin things for you. And Social Security is very adamant. We are very specific when we call people. We don't have to ask you your name or what your social security number is. We gave you the social security number. Surely we know what it is, but you have people all the time contacting not only myself, but other people, and they're telling people that your social security number has expired. There's no such thing. Numbers don't expire. The number 3 has been good all my life, hasn't it, Josephine? And guess what? They'll say it's been suspended. There's no such thing. We've never suspended a social security number, or that you've been accused of federal crimes. You're going to be arrested or something. Well, guess what? Social security isn't law enforcement. We don't run around chasing the bad guys, except for these fraudsters. Those are the bad guys we're after. So when you get calls, when someone is aggressive or they're angry, they're demanding something, they're threatening you and telling you that your benefits are going to be cut off, or that they'll give you additional benefits if you give them some information. It's fake, it's fake, it's fake. And I want you to be aware that if you look at the bullet points, here are the things we don't do. Josie, would you care to read some of those bullet points?
I would love to read these bullet points because we want everybody to know what we do not do here at Social Security, because these are fraudulent calls and we want you to be aware and we want you to protect your information. And we do not threaten you. We will not tell you that we're going to suspend your Social Security number. We will not demand immediate payment from you, and we will not require payment by cash, gift card, prepaid debit card, internet currency, or wire transfer. And we will not ask for a gift card number over the phone or for you to wire or mail cash to us. We will not do that. Don't be fooled. You should look out for the caller saying there is a problem with your Social Security number or account. Any call asking you to pay a fine or debt with retail gift cards, wire transfers, prepaid debit cards, internet currency, or by mailing cash. And also, don't be fooled with scammers pretending they're from Social Security or other government agencies. The caller ID or documents sent by an email may look official, but they are not. So please be aware of these scams.
Absolutely. Josephine, I've seen and heard the tragedies. People getting taken for thousands of dollars, but the federal government has never asked anybody for a gift card. That's not, even if you owed money, we'd send you a letter and we wouldn't have you paying by these untraceable means. Like a gift card is something that you buy for somebody, and once it's spent, it's gone. And there's no record. There's no way that I have a receipt that I paid you this and I owed you that. And so many times people have given their information to Social Security, but that's fine when you know it's us. But we don't just call you out of the blue. If you had Social Security business recently, why, sure, we might contact you then. But if you're just home and you haven't had any dealings with Social Security, that's a reason to be suspicious if you're suddenly getting phone calls and people want information, because we want you to be comfortable. So, in other words, no one but from Social Security would ever be offended if you said, I don't prefer to do this business this way. Can I call Social Security right back? And then you hang up, and don't call them at a number they give you or what's on your caller ID. Look on that field office locator, use your zip code, and then you can contact what you know to be the real Social Security Administration. And we all can see all the information. So it's not as if that one person needs to talk to you, and we will tell you if that's fake. It's much more expensive if you give your Social Security number or information to someone else out there. They could post it on the internet. They could sell your information. There's a big market for that on the dark web. So I want you to be careful, and I want you to guard your information. We guard your information. Our site has never been hacked. Our website is secure. So feel comfortable in that. But you've got to do your part to help us. Please help us protect you. Help us to help you by making sure that you don't expose your information to people who should not have it. Josie?
Yes, please protect your information. And if you do receive one of those calls that are fraudulent scam calls, you can go ahead, or a representative stating that they are person stating that they're a Social Security representative and they are not. please report that. And you can report that to oig.gov. As you can see, you can click here. It says submit a report. And once you click there, it's a, very, easy use form. You just go ahead and put the date of the incident, what exactly happened. You can provide numbers. This is going to go ahead and help us to be able to make sure that we are, putting a stop to these types of things that are happening. So please visit our website, and if you have more, if you'd like more information in regards to scams and fraud, you can look at that information up, and then you can go ahead and click onto oig.gov to submit a report. But lots of great information today, Mr. Summer.
I think so, Josephine. I really appreciate, it's my pleasure to work with you in this way. And we just want, even the CAN TV Chicago Ghost is happy today. And we want you to stay tuned. Our frequently asked question shows cover the topics that you bring to me. When you write, Dear Mr. Social Security, I read it. And Josephine, who is not Mr. Social Security, but nevertheless has a wealth of information to give you, will also answer those questions for you. So keep your questions coming. Contact Social Security if you have a question. And remember, don't carry your Social Security card with you, and be safe.
Thank you for being here with us today, everyone. Take care.